Welcome to step 2 of our drag tutorial. What we've done is block the brows, and again, they don't have to be blockable too close up. There are brow blocks that you can buy commercially if you're doing film work and you really need a convincing tight shot, high definition. But when I'm standing in the back of the theatre hall with newly drawn eyebrows, incorporating this into the crease and some of these other elements, this is going to hold up just fine. What I've done now is I've prepped the skin with a little Mayron pan stick, and I've just powdered it and just covered the face. And the next step we're going to do before we do our fake brows is we're going to do a little bit of contouring. And again, there's so many good drag tutorials available on YouTube and other places. I just hope that if we all keep posting, we share a lot of different ideas and techniques, and what works for some people won't work for others. So we're going to learn along the way from each other. What I've done here is I've taken a little bit of dark Mayron pan stick, and I'm going to do a little bit of cheek contour. So I'm going to start by just taking it with my fingertips, and I tend to want to work with fingertips when I'm working with pan stick makeup. It's the traditional way to do theater makeup. So what we're going to do first of all is just sort of look at the line of the face and look at the character we're trying to create. So what I want to do is I want to enhance the cheekbone right here. So I'm just going to take a little strip of this and I'm going to run it about here, starting at about the tragus of the ear and running it down to about this point, no further than about the outside of the eye. And then I'm going to take a little bit of material over here, and you really just have to play with this so you lose your fear of it. And you can't see it as well on this side, but there we go. We just made a little. So we have our first two primary contour points, and what we're going to try to do is bring forward the cheekbones by bringing this out a little bit. Then we're going to hit a couple of other contour points. We're going to go up at the temple, just using our dark contour, and just right up in the temple area here. And then of course you can change the shape of the nose, so we're just going to take a little bit of dark foundation. So we've hit our foundation here, 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 and if we want to enhance the lip depth later on, we'll just put a little touch of foundation in there so we can play with it. So we're all kind of marked up, and we'll do our lighter contour afterwards. Then we're just going to take our fingertips and we're going to do a finger blend. And what you're going to do for finger blending is just bring this down, and it's important that when you're doing a woman's face that everything sweeps upward. So we're going to come inside the contour and we're going to blend upward. And you only need to blend just maybe no more than about a ½ an inch up. You just want to blend very lightly upward. And we're starting with our finger, again, inside the contour line. If you start on the outside of the line and try to pull it up, it'll end up getting up here, and then you start to lose it. So the key when you're doing face contour and finger painting like this is delicacy. Easy as you go. And we're just going to blend that up carefully. You can see this kind of feathering, tapping motion. And then we're just going to take this down and just going to clean it really nice like that and just bring it down. And there we have our basic adjustment in the angle of the face. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, again taking a little finger or whatever finger is closest, and we're just going to blend upward ever so slightly, blending upward from inside the contour line. So you want to start your finger inside the contour and just blend it upward really, really gently. Don't overblend. And then come downward here just to blend out at this level. Now don't worry about getting it all right now, because we're going to be using blush to do reinforce the cheek contour. But as you can see already, we're beginning to see a change in the shape and angle of the face. And I'm not going to blend this to perfection. I'm going to do as much as I can for the economy of time, enough to convince you to get out and try it. These are classic blending techniques. And so what you can start to see is I've started to change the shape of the face, and I've reduced some of the volume here. Then we're going to come up here, and again using the same kind of strategy, we're just going to blend upward into the temple area very gently, and we're not going to blend downward because we want to keep this bright, so we're going to keep blending up and back. So we just create a little bit of a hollow up in here, and then we're going to come to this side, and we're just going to again blend upward, upward and back, upward and back. Now if you have too much product on there and you feel like, oh God, I've overdone it, you can do a little more blending, but sometimes that's intense, so you can just remove it with your makeup sponge until you get the right amount. And eventually you'll kind of dial it in. And so now what we've done is we've contoured the angle of the temple to bring that even. And we've contoured the center line. And then, of course, we can powder all this, but we're trying to create a facial shape here. Then finally on the nose, we're just going to take this, and again, if we've put a little too much, that's okay. I can take my sponge and do a little removal. And we're just going to bring this right up into the base of the eye and right down the line. You want to get this even, because one way to simulate a broken nose is to a lot of dark here and a little light there, and maybe you put a cotton ball in one of the nostrils, and you've got a simulated broken nose for stage. So make sure those are even. And we're just going to, again, bring this right up into the base of the eye and down like this on structure of the nose. And then we do a little of the same thing, we just blend here really, really nicely. Some people are concerned about wattles and things at the base of the neck. So for this, we're just going to take a little bit of the dark foundation, and I'm going to analyze and assess my face, and I'm going to determine that in fact what's happening is that this jaw is making a very sharp angle. So I'm just going to come along the spots that are very angular and masculine, and I'm just going to hit these here like this. Hold my head up so you can see. See right along here, along this line. And then we're just going to blend downward. Again, I like to use the ring finger for this sort of thing. Just blending down. Of course, I can use the outside of this finger as well. A lot of finger technique, kind of figuring out what to do. And then we just blend that down with the side of the finger like that. And then we have our basic contour for the face established. And then we can go on, oh, camera, sorry about that. We can then go on and powder it and do these other things like that. You can add another step to your contouring procedure where you just take a little bit of the lighter, really light pale foundation, something like this, again in a Mayron, or Ben Nye or Kryolan makes great pan stick as well. And we decant a little bit of this lighter colored foundation. I'm just using a mascara wand as a spatula. You can use spatula too, but mascara wands are disposable and cheap. Disposable mascara wand. And we decant that onto our palette. And then what we're going to do is just take a little bit of the light, and this is just kind of fun. I don't really have a plan in mind for character, but we can then take a little white strip and run it down the center of the nose, a little bit light above the eyes. And girls, this is really great for you to do just for your own beauty makeup. These are the spots you want to hit. You can hit the corners of the mouth if you want to kind of lift things up. Sometimes when we're a little tired, the sides of the mouth sag, and we get a feeling, it kind of looks to us like we're frowning, so we can lift that up. So those are the main spots that we want to put our light color in. And then we can also go right up here underneath the eye if we want to bring that forward. And now what we're going to do is just take our fingertips and finger blend. And again, we said everything moves upward in a woman. When you're doing male makeups for male characters, I tend to sweep product down. And we're just going to take this and bring it up towards the temple. Again, come on this side. One truly hopes this video works out the way I'd like it to. So I hope we're getting the right angles for you, and you can kind of see the process of just finger blending the edges. And we're just going to produce this here. Then we're going to take our white. Remember, we've done our dark contour on the side of the nose, and we're just going to take the white, remove any excess, and just blend that down on both sides so we don't get the broken nose effect. And bring it right up here and blend it down until it meets the dark contour. Then we're just going to take this up here, and again we talk about everything moving up in a woman. Up, up, up. So we just take this and blend it out. And again we're going to take this here and just blend it out. Blend it out and upward, out and upward. We can come to the center as well, but we just want to hit the area just above the eyes to open up the eye area. And you want a nice blend because remember to do the dark, so I'm going to pull a little of the dark down and this in here, and I'm just going to try to balance that out. I'll bring it right across for fun now, so for continuity. But there we've done our basic contouring, and once you get to some distance, this is going to hold up really nice to produce a little more feminine turn of the features. And we finish off by grabbing our powder brush, wherever it decided to run to. And then we're just going to take a little bit of powder, and again, for stage, we're going to take a puff and we're really going to drive it in there. But for here, we're just going to take it and we're just going to set it with the powder. You can also do this fake technique if you're out of powder sponges and powder puffs, like you're working on 10 people and you don't have enough powder puffs to go around. You can take a lot of product, load it in the end of the brush, and drive it, push it into the skin. Puff is a lot better, but the brush is kind of nice because it kind of preserves things. And there we have it kind of set up for us. Add a little bit here, make sure we didn't displace any of this for coverage. And set in here, and then just take our puff, and we're just going to lock it in here like this. We can go on to be a little more cosmetic about it, but then if I pull back just a little bit here, I hope it comes across. I have a fairly good block brow, and I now have the beginnings of a feminine shape. I've just brought in a little bit of contour here, and this area under the nose, some people like to brighten that, to pull the center of the face forward. So it's okay to take a little bit of light and pull it in here like this. And what we start to do is produce a feminization of the facial features at this point. Then of course we're going to do our makeup, in which we're going to do cheek contours and be a little stronger. But this kind of lays out the basic foundation for the look of the face. And I hope this has been helpful for you. We'll talk about placing brows in our next video. Thank you.